Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about this video, how I learned English in 5 months. You understand English when someone speaks slowly. You understand many English words. You watch English videos every day. You know some grammar. You can read English without much trouble. But something strange happens. Someone looks at you and asks, "Can you speak English?" And suddenly your mind becomes empty. You know what you want to say, but you cannot find the words. Your heart starts beating fast. You start thinking in your mother tongue, then you try to translate, then you search for the right word. By the time you build the sentence, the conversation is already over. The person is already talking about something else. If this has happened to you, this video is for you, because this used to be my life too. This is not a story about becoming perfect. This is not a story about sounding like a native speaker. This is a story about becoming confident enough to speak. The biggest change in my English did not come from learning hundreds of grammar rules. It came from changing what I did every single day. 5 months, 5 simple stages, 5 different challenges, and one goal: to stop being afraid of English. Let me show you exactly how it happened. Before we start, I want to be honest with you. 5 months will not make you perfect. 5 months will not make you sound like a native speaker. But 5 months of real daily practice can change your listening, can change your vocabulary, can change your pronunciation, can change your confidence, can change the way you speak every day. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. The goal is understanding. The goal is confidence. The goal is speaking simple English without fear. That is what changed for me. I am not a teacher. I am not a language expert. I am just someone who was afraid to speak. And I found a simple system that helped me every single day. Now let me take you through the 5 months. Month 1. Stop waiting for perfect English. In month 1, my English was very basic. I made many mistakes. I felt embarrassed almost every time I spoke. I spoke very slowly. I forgot simple words in the middle of sentences. I used the wrong tense again and again. But in month 1, I made one important decision. I decided to speak English every day, even when my English was far from perfect. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment. I stopped waiting for perfect grammar. I started using the English I already had. I began with very simple sentences. I am tired. I am hungry. I am going outside. I need water. I will call you later. I do not understand. Please speak slowly. What are you doing? Where are you going? I think this is good. I do not know. These sentences look small, but they changed everything because I actually used them. I turned my daily life into practice. Waking up became a chance to speak. I woke up and said, "I am awake now." Brushing my teeth became practice. I am brushing my teeth. Making tea became practice. I am making tea. I am adding sugar. Cooking became practice too. I am cutting vegetables. I am cooking rice. Even traveling became practice. I am walking to the bus stop. I am waiting for the bus. Shopping became practice. I want this one, please. How much is this? Talking to my family became practice. Even walking outside became practice. I see a tree. I see a car. In month 1, I learned something important. I did not need complicated English. I needed simple English that I could use automatically. Month 1 daily system. Here is exactly what I did every day in Month 1, 10 minutes listening, 10 minutes speaking, 10 minutes reading, 10 minutes learning new words, 10 minutes thinking in English. That is only about 50 minutes a day, not 5 hours, not 6 hours. Just 50 minutes done consistently. I did not study for hours and then stop. For a week, I showed up every single day. Consistency mattered more than intensity. A small daily habit beats a big habit you cannot maintain. That was the real lesson of month 1. Month 2, build your daily English. In month 2, I understood something new. Vocabulary was important, but learning random word lists was not working for me. I stopped trying to memorize thousands of words. Instead, I learned words connected to my real life, words I could actually use that same day. Instead of only learning the word hungry, I learned the full phrase, I am hungry. Instead of only learning the word busy, I learned, I am busy right now. Instead of only learning the word agree, I learned, I agree with you. Learning full phrases made speaking so much easier because a phrase is already a small sentence, ready to use in real conversation. I also learned simple sentence patterns. I want to, I need to, I have to, I am going to, I would like to, I think, I feel, I do not know. Can you, could you? These patterns became like keys. One pattern could open many sentences. I want to sleep. I want to eat. I want to learn. I need to go now. I need to rest. With these patterns, I could build sentences quickly, without translating word by word. This felt like a real breakthrough. I remember using English at a small shop. I asked for something in English, and the shopkeeper understood me. It was a small moment, but I felt something new. I felt proud of myself. I remember the first time I understood a full question without translating. I remember the first time I answered someone without thinking in my mother tongue. First, these moments were small, but they were real, and they kept me going. Month to daily system. In month to my daily routine looked like this. I listened to simple English every day. I learned 5 useful words or phrases. I spoke for 5 to 10 minutes. I read a short English paragraph. I repeated sentences aloud. I also started recording my own voice. At first this felt strange. I did not like hearing myself. But listening to my own recordings helped me notice mistakes. Mistakes I could not hear while speaking. This became one of the most useful habits. Record, listen, notice, correct, try again. That simple loop helped me improve faster than I expected. Month 3. Train your brain to think in English. Month 3 changed everything for me until this point. I was still translating in my head, and translating was slowing me down. My process looked like this: mother tongue, then an idea, then translation, then an English sentence, then finally speaking. This process was simply too slow. By the time I finished translating, the conversation had already moved on. So I decided to change the process completely. Idea straight into simple English. Then speaking, no translation in between. This was not easy at first. I started with very small thoughts. I am tired. It is hot. I need coffee. Where is my phone? I am going home. I have work today. I will do it later. I do not like this. This is interesting. I am feeling better. These were not complicated thoughts. They were simple daily thoughts, connected directly to English. That was the whole idea. I remember walking outside one evening and silently describing everything I saw in simple English. I see a car. There is a shop. A man is walking. The weather is hot. I need to buy something. I am going home. It felt strange at first, talking to myself in my mind, in a new language. But slowly something changed. Translation started disappearing. Simple English started coming naturally. Month 3 challenge. In month 3, I gave myself a 7-day challenge. Day 1, I thought in English for 5 minutes. Day 2, I described my room in English. Day 3, I described my morning routine. Day 4, I described everything I saw outside. Day 5, I talked about my work in English. Day 6, I talked about my future plans. Day 7, I spoke about my entire day. This challenge felt small each day, but by day 7, I noticed a real difference. Thinking in English was becoming easier. It was no longer something I had to force. It was slowly becoming a habit. Month 4. Start real conversations. By month, for I had some vocabulary, I had useful sentence patterns, I had better listening. I had more confidence than before, but a new problem appeared. Real conversations are different from practice. People speak fast. People have different accents. People do not speak perfect textbook English. Sometimes I simply did not understand. Sometimes I panicked, and I learned that this is completely normal. Oh, I learned some survival phrases. Phrases that keep a conversation alive, even when you do not understand everything. Could you say that again? Please speak slowly. What does that mean? I did not understand. Let me think. Give me a second. I mean, actually, I think. In my opinion, I am not sure. That is a good question. These phrases became my safety tools. I remember a real conversation where someone asked me a question. I did not understand. Instead of staying silent, I said, "Could you say that again?" The person repeated the question, more slowly this time, and I was able to answer. That moment taught me something important. Staying silent does not help you improve. Asking for help does. Month for challenge. In month 4, I gave myself a new challenge. Speak with another person for 5 to 10 minutes every day. If I had no speaking partner, I spoke to myself. I recorded myself. I used an English speaking app too. Practice conversation. I looked for English speaking groups. I practiced with friends who were also learning. I used real situations whenever possible. I learned an important lesson in month 4. Speaking is a skill, and a skill cannot grow only by reading. Abuit. You have to actually speak again and again, even when it feels uncomfortable. Month 5. Stop being afraid of mistakes. Month 5 brought the biggest emotional change. I remember a real conversation where I made a clear mistake. I used the wrong tense. I mispronounced a word. I even forgot a simple word in the middle of a sentence. But something important happened. Nothing terrible happened. The conversation simply continued. The other person did not laugh at me. They did not judge me. They understood what I meant, and we kept talking. In that moment, I understood something. Clearly, mistakes are not the enemy. Silence is the real enemy. This does not mean careless English is fine. It means mistakes are part of learning, not something to be ashamed of. I started following a simple process. First I speak, then I notice the mistake. Then I correct it. Then I speak again. This became a natural cycle. I also started a mistake notebook every day. I wrote down 3 mistakes. I wrote the correct sentence next to each. 1. I said the correct sentence aloud, and I tried to use it again later that day. This simple habit turned mistakes into real lessons. 5-month transformation. Let me compare month 1 and month 5 honestly. In month 1, I was afraid to speak. I translated almost everything in my head. I used very few sentences. I felt embarrassed often. I avoided conversations when I could. In month 5, things looked different. I could speak simple English. I understood much more everyday English. I could create basic sentences faster. I could ask questions without freezing. I could continue simple conversations. I could explain simple ideas clearly. I felt far more confident. I still made mistakes. But I was no longer afraid of them. I want to be honest with you. I was not perfect after 5 months. I was simply much better than 5 months before, and that difference changed how I lived. My daily life. The 5-month roadmap. Here is the roadmap in simple form. Month 1, speak simple English every day. Month 2, build useful vocabulary and phrases. Month 3, think in simple English. Month 4, practice real conversations. Month 5, build confidence and fix repeated mistakes. Every single day I focused on these 6 things. Listen, speak, read, write, think, repeat. This simple cycle became the base of everything I did. The 60-minute daily plan. If you want a realistic daily plan, here is what worked for me. 15 minutes listening, 15 minutes speaking, 10 minutes reading, 10 minutes vocabulary and phrases, 10 minutes thinking or writing. If you have less time than this, you can reduce it. Even 20 to 30 minutes a day can help. The most important thing is not the number of minutes. The most important thing is showing up. Every day. The weekly progress check. Here is a simple way to see your own progress. Every Sunday I recorded myself speaking about the same topic, my day, my family, my work, my hometown, my future, my favorite food. I used the same topics again and again. At the end of 5 months, I compared my first recording with my final recording. The difference was clear proof. Not because someone told me. I improved because I could hear it myself. This is something you can do too. What not to do? Let me share the mistakes I made early on. Do not spend all your time only studying grammar. Do not memorize random vocabulary lists. Do not wait until your English feels perfect. Do not compare yourself with fluent speakers. Do not try to sound like a native speaker. Do not study hard for 1 day and then stop for the next 5 days. Do not be afraid of mistakes. Do not only watch English videos all day. Watching is useful, but speaking is necessary. Do not confuse understanding English with being able to speak English. These are two very different skills. The final 30-day push. After the 5 months, I gave myself one more challenge. A final 30-day push. Speak English every day. Record your voice. Learn useful phrases. Think in English. Listen to simple English. Have real conversations. Review your mistakes. Do not miss 2 days in a row. This final push made the new habits permanent. It turned effort into identity. The emotional ending. Let us return to where this story started. 5 months ago, I was afraid to speak. Today, I am still learning. I still make mistakes. I still do not know every word, but now I speak, and that is the real victory. English is not a test. English is a communication tool. You do not need perfect English to start. Using it. You need courage to start. You need consistency to continue, and you need patience to improve. 5 months from today will arrive anyway. Whether you use that time or not, the 5 months will still pass. You can spend those 5 months worrying about your English, or you can spend those 5 months improving it. The time will pass either way. 5 months later, you may still not speak perfect English, but you can speak better English. You can understand more English, you can think more in English, and you can feel far more confident. The choice starts today, not next month, not next year. Today. Call to action. If you are ready to start this journey, write this in the comments. I will speak English for the next 5 months. Save this video. Come back and watch it again after 5 months and start day 1 today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today.